Warning. This podcast may contain spoilers from whatever TV show or movie is mentioned. Please listen at your own discretion. Welcome to Viewers Anonymous.
Yo, what's going on? I am Scoots Bronson.
And I am S. Foster.
And this is the Viewers Anonymous podcast. What's going on with you, buddy?
Another day breathing, man. So, and above ground. So, your boy doing pretty good. So, I can't complain. Got a lot of things moving. So, can't complain, man. How about yourself, man? How you feeling?
Man, I'm making it, man. Finally got me some sleep. Don't feel like it, but I finally got me some sleep. And shit, outside of that, man, just you know what I'm saying, the normal brainstorming, trying to get stuff ready. You know what I'm saying? It's about to start getting warm out here real soon, and talking to a few people, getting ready to do a few things, ready to make this a productive year, man.
Definitely, man. And I think that's the thing, especially with getting older, man. It's kind of like it's all about being more productive. Like, I feel like I got lesser time to waste.
Yeah.
And then, like, even with that, like, I don't let bullshit take up my time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of like being more productive, thinking about things that are more productive, and then worried about things that's not really something to be concerned about. So I totally understand that, man, completely. And speaking of production, how the hair growth going, man? Is the fro turning into a mini fro to a medium sized fro? Like, what's going on with
I ain't gonna lie to you. It was actually at a medium sized fro. I don't even know if the last time, like I don't know if I showed it when I had it all the way out. But I ended up getting it trimmed up. My pops, you know what I'm saying, kind of cut too much off, so it went back down to you know what I'm saying, a mini fro. But I figured I got a few more months before it becomes like a real fro. So I'm getting there, man. You know what I'm saying, slowly but surely.
I hear that, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, slowly but surely.
Hey, same here, man. Your boy got straight up hang time nowadays, man. I be riding in the truck. Man, the hair be flowing in the wind.
Yeah.
I'll be like, oh shit. Shit.
Yeah.
I still ain't used to the shit, man. Like the shit be hitting like the back of my neck and shit. I'm like, what the fuck is that? I'm like, oh yeah.
Oh, man,
I got dreads now.
Yeah, it take time, man. It take time.
Yeah, it take time to get used to. Oh yeah, definitely, man. And then, you know, I'm always in the middle, like, man, fuck that, man, I'm cutting the shit. And then I'll be like, shit,
hey,
boy, it took me a long time to get to this point.
Don't cut it, bro.
Yeah, man. So I'm rolling with it, man. But like we talked about before, I'm pretty sure, I think we was off air, but like we talked about before, man, just to be in your mid-30s and still be able to grow hair, bro, that's a positive sign, man.
Hey, listen, big time.
Yeah, but cause it's a lot of people, man, hairline going in the wrong direction, but you know.
Oh, big time. Big time. I got a few friends out here that's they suffering right now, my boy.
Oh yeah, man.
And they not liking it.
Gotta get that body, man. Sorry.
Yeah. What? Nah, he can't get that. If he get a body, he gonna look crazy. That nigga gonna look wild, bro. He gonna look like he, you know what I'm saying, killed somebody. Either that or he escaped prison.
Hey, hey, man, I heard the whole theory is they say Michael Jordan ruined the bodies for everybody, man.
Definitely.
Because everybody was like, they said he looked too good with the baldy, and it's just like now, just like everybody can't rock it.
I know. I was just saying because if you get one, now you got to get an earring.
Man, you need to stop.
I'm serious, bro.
What, the hoop earring?
You gotta have a hoop earring if you got a baldy, bro.
Hey,
especially if you're dark skin, you gotta get you a hoop earring.
Man, I ain't wore hoop earrings since college, man. Since
you had a hoop earring, bro?
I had two of them.
That's hilarious. This nigga was Deion Sanders. That's fucking hilarious.
No, it was a little mini joints, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I had them, man, back in the day. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right. Bro, I am a L7 square. Bro. I don't have no piercings. I don't have no tattoos, no nothing, bro.
Oh man. Hey, but nah, let me tell you. And see, because I remember, you know what I'm saying, rest in peace to my guy Uncle Washington. He used to always be like, man, we need to get your dad on the pod. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
nah. I said, that's not a good idea. He was like, why? I said, listen, man, my dad is so old school, man, and he got these theories in his head, dude, that is
Yeah,
wild. So he told me when I was a kid, because I was like, I wanted my ear piercing, and I had
yeah,
just got my left one done when I was young.
yeah.
And he was like, boy, don't get your ears pierced, boy. People gonna think you the F word.
Hey,
So,
man,
so
I've heard that. I've heard that. I definitely
hey,
heard that.
so I went and got it anyway.
Mm.
And then, so I turned 18. I go get my first tat. And shout out to my sister. She paid for it. He's like, man, don't get no tattoos, man. People with tattoos look stinking. Like,
That's
I said,
hilarious.
I
That's
said, what the
hilarious.
smell got to do with a tattoo, man? Like,
Mm-hmm.
yo, my dad theories, dude, they're the wildest ever. I said, no, I cannot put this man on my podcast and put a
Now,
mic in
I
front of him.
will, I will say this: it's certain people with tattoos. They definitely look like they stink. I
Listen,
will
it's
agree with them there. It ain't everybody though, but it's certain people like when they get them tattoos, like the people that got them like everywhere, all over their body, like they're like a walking billboard.
like Odell Beckham.
Nah, see, it's different because Odell got like he got a muscular body, so like what I'm saying. I
Rick
know that
Ross.
sound. I know that. Nah, not even weird. Not even Rick Ross. It's weird. I'm just saying. Like not even like I'm trying to think. All right, like Delonte West, right?
Come on, man. That's
He
not
looked
fair. That's not
no
fair.
when he was in the league, bro. He looked crazy, bro. He looked like he stink, bro. Like Matt Barnes, he looked like he stink, bro. In the league with all them tattoos, I don't know, bro. There's just something about motherfucker with a lot of tattoos. They just look weird. And look,
Yeah.
I want to let y'all know that Odell Beckham comment that didn't come out like I meant for it to come out. I was just saying, his body structure don't look like he stinks because he's what I'm saying, he in shape. Like even with Rick Ross, him being that big, like you expect somebody like that to, what I'm saying, have those type of tattoos. The way he conducts himself, like Gunplay. You remember Gunplay?
Yeah.
Yeah, he looked like he stinks. That's what I'm saying. It's just certain people, bro. Certain people, bro,
Yeah.
look like they stink, bro.
Yeah. Man, you gotta stop, man. Listen, I cannot tell my dad somebody agree with him. I can't do it. So
I'm
we're
with him,
gonna
bro.
we're
Like
gonna disregard
if
this.
Rihanna got a lot of tattoos, she'd look alright. It wouldn't be that bad. But then like it's a couple of them, what I'm saying, them pop star / rocker chicks, what I'm saying? They look like they stink, bro. So I'm
Okay, I
with him.
got so I got one more before we move on.
Okay.
Post Malone.
Oh, bro. I don't know why, but every time I see him, I smell Coors Light and cigarettes. Joe Budden says he smells good. Don't get me wrong. Joe said he smelled great, but to me, that nigga looked like he smelled like full flavors and Coors Light.
Oh my God. Hey boy, you stupid.
He
Well,
definitely don't smoke menthol.
if anybody listens to this podcast and know my dad, just disregard the last 5 minutes because my dad do not need to know somebody agree with him.
I'm
Cause
sorry, man.
hey, that shit is crazy. And I always fuck with him too. I be messing with him. I be like, man, I
Yeah.
got both my ears pierced. I was like, am I a F word? He'd be like, yeah, but there's some of them out there though. There's some of them out there. I'm like, like, man, you need to stop.
That's hilarious, bro.
That's funny though. That's funny.
That's comedy. So, man, you know what I'm saying? We back at it, bro. We back on the, what I'm saying, the Snowfall bandwagon. Well, I don't want to say bandwagon because we've been on Snowfall, but we back on the Snowfall train, man. This episode kind of cleared some things up.
Oh,
You know
hold
what I'm
up.
saying? I was
Whoa,
excited.
whoa,
Oh no,
whoa. Hold.
see, look, you gotta let me
Oh,
flow.
my
You know,
bad. My
yeah, you
bad.
gotta let me flow. You gotta let me flow. I ain't getting into it yet. You know what I'm saying? I already know. We still this is the second episode of the week. I'm already on it. But nah, you know what I'm saying? This episode kind of cleared some things up. But before we get into it, you know what I'm saying, let's get to a nice little segment we call What We Watching. What we watching? right, man. So, listen, the nights that I could not sleep, I stayed up, found some things to watch, and they were magnificent. Um, but the first one, I got two of them. So the first one,
Okay.
is HBO Max. It's a show called Winning Time. It's starring John C. Riley, who is to me one of the best actors of this, you know what I'm saying, of this past decade and a half. He's done some amazing work, from drama to comedy. You know what I'm saying? He can pretty much do it all. But he plays Dr. Jerry Buss. I forgot what the actor's name is that plays Magic Johnson, but it's called Winning Time. It's basically about Jerry Buss buying the Lakers and then turning them into the dynasty that they were, especially after coming off of, you know what I'm saying, Jerry West coaching them. And there's just a whole bunch of different things. And they basically take a comedic approach to some of the personal stories surrounded by that Lakers dynasty. So, you know, you got a dude that played Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in there, you know, Norm Nixon, who I didn't know was in the fish that saved Pittsburgh. I never knew that. So, watching this, they got a little scene in there where Norm Nixon takes Magic Johnson to a movie premiere, and and you know Norm Nixon is in the movie or supposedly in the movie, and the coach says his name or whatever, blah 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 blah. But you know what I'm saying, I didn't know Norm Nixon was supposed to be in a fish that saved Pittsburgh, which is a great movie by the way. Y'all go check that out. And then you know what I'm saying? It basically it kind of details the lives of Magic Johnson coming into LA, being a rookie, you know what I'm saying? Kind of becoming the face of the franchise, you know what I'm saying? Everything that was surrounding that at the time, you know what I'm saying? Jerry Buss buying the franchise and then, you know what I'm saying, turning it into what the Lakers are today. Especially them coming off that, you know what I'm saying, the ass whippings that they was getting from the Celtics in the finals. So that's my first one. It's called Winning Time. It's on HBO Max. Check that out. And then second, it's also on HBO Max, but it's a part of the DC universe, and it's called DMZ. It's starring Rosario Dawson. And man, when I tell you, I think it's only like 4 episodes. It may be another season or something coming out that they're gonna add to it. But it's only 4 episodes. But I'm telling you, these are some of the best 4 episodes I've ever saw. As far as TV goes. Um, It's about a lady who loses her son during like the second American Civil War. So America breaks into two factions. It's the U.S. and then it's the FSA. It's the USA and the FSA. And in between the USA and the FSA is basically Manhattan or New York. And New York is like the last free state, but they call it the DMZ. So anybody that lives in the DMZ basically um is basically like the, you know what I'm saying, like the outsiders. And you know what I'm saying, it's a dope story, man. They got some great actors and actresses in it. But Rosario Dawson is the main character, and it's not like superhero ish. There's no, you know what I'm saying, like superpowers or nothing. It's really just one of those dope stories that some comic books tell. You know, they do their thing with that. But check those two out, man. DMZ and Winning Time. That's what I got.
All right, man. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and mention. I'm gonna mention like three, but I'm not gonna do two of them because you already talked about them. I start watching that Worst Roommate Ever. I got to the second episode, and I didn't know it's different people.
Yeah.
I thought it was just, one person. I was wondering why it was going so fast. I was like, what the hell is going on? Then I got to the next one, and this Oriental dude. So I was like, oh shit. So I've been watching The Worst Roommate Ever. And then Winning Time, you just went over that, so there's no reason to go deep dive into that. But another thing that I've been watching, man, I watched that Deep Water joint, man, the new Ben Affleck movie on Hulu. Yo, listen, I'm trying to think. Okay, I want to say it's trash. It's not trash, but the concept of it is trash.
Yeah.
Like, so long story short, so basically Ben Affleck is married to this lady. They got a daughter, but like he's one of those dudes who kind of like just let anything fly. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like he's the type of dude of like I can't stop you from doing what you want to do, but she looks at it like he don't care about her, so she's gonna do what
Mm-hmm.
she want to do, and she will always have these friends and long like so basically and all her friends were always guy friends and she brought them around her kid like she was smashing like she would literally like be at a party they was at a party together
Mm-hmm.
and one of her friends came in she run straight to him hug him in front of everybody kiss him in front of everybody take him to the pool they playing in the pool and all this type of shit and he just sit back and do nothing but
Mm-hmm.
you think he do nothing. So what this motherfucker does basically is just go and kill all the dudes that she fucking.
That's hilarious.
That is trash.
No, that is hilarious.
No, you
That
kill
is
her. Get that
no,
bullshit out of
for
here.
sure. Yeah, for sure. Cause she's a whore. Get her out of here. But that is hilarious. The fact that this nigga is a serial killer because he can't deal with his wife. She just leave the bitch, bro.
Dude, I'm sitting here watching this shit like, oh my.
why is that so hard to do, bro? It's not. I'm not. First and foremost, you don't fight the other dude. You don't even say shit to the other dude. He owes you nothing. He owes you no loyalty. He owes you no respect. He don't know you. You know what I'm saying? That's irrelevant. It's her that's the issue. Just leave. Either you gonna kill her or you gonna leave her.
Dude, it is wild, man. But like
Or
you said, I
or
didn't even.
maybe they should have an open marriage. How about that? Just have an open marriage. That way you don't
But
have to worry about shit like that.
it basically that's what it was. But he just wouldn't do that with nobody. Like he just like only had eyes for her.
Oh,
But like
so
she, but
she didn't even care if my man was doing anything.
I don't think she cared because
Yeah, see,
it's like
that's what I'm saying. That's well, in that case, you got to go out there and get busy.
man, and it's just funny the way you said that. He said that Ben Affleck's a serial killer.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. It was. I mean, the concept of it was. It wasn't a bad movie. It wasn't a bad
right.
movie. But just the concept of it was kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man. So Dark Water. It's a Hulu original. They came out. I think it came out last week. Yeah, it came out last Friday. So
Mm-hmm.
people had time to watch it. And
Absolutely.
another thing that I've been doing for some odd reason, I've been on a horror kick lately too.
Mm-hmm.
I went back, watched I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. I watched Nightmare on Elm Street, the first one, the '84 version. Like I don't know why, man. I
Okay.
just been in a horror kick, man. So I've been watching some old horror joints, man. Watched Friday the 13th Part 4.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. I've been watching a lot of shit though.
I went back and watched Kick Ass and Kick Ass 2. I'm talking about two of the funniest fucking movies in the fucking world. That shit is comedy, bro. Kick Ass itself is already hilarious, but then they made two even funnier by making it like comedic. Because the first one it wasn't comedic, but it was still funny. But then they turned number two into like a comedy style. That shit was funny as fuck, bro. This nigga was getting his ass whooped. She had this nigga dress up like a pimp on the second one. Have you ever seen Kick Ass?
Nah, I never seen it, man.
Okay, so Kick Ass, for anybody who don't know, real quick, Kick Ass is this it's this movie about this dude in high school. You know what I'm saying? Him and his friends, they all grew up, you know what I'm saying, reading comic books and all the other shit. They basically like fucking nerds, like super nerds, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's one dude, he like, yo, like what if superheroes was real, you know? So basically, they like superheroes couldn't be real, man. He was like, "There's no way nobody would ever be able to get powers or whatever." So then he was like, "Well, shit, Iron Man, you know what I'm saying? He ain't got no fucking powers." He was like, "Batman didn't have no fucking powers." He was like, "Yeah, Batman had the biggest power of them all. He was fucking rich." He was like, "Yeah, so was Iron Man." He was like, "Yeah," he was like, "That makes sense." So basically, this nigga goes on Amazon and he buys himself two weapons and and a fucking scuba suit. And he buys these two like martial arts sticks and the scuba suit, and that's basically his fucking that's his like his superhero costume. So he basically is like he's walking around New York. This nigga just walking around New York fully dressed in the costume, stopping crime. So this is how the first one, like, this is how the first one is. And then he find out, like, it's two motherfuckers that's out there really dressed up, you know what I'm saying? Superheroes that's really actually fighting crime, though, but they actually killing motherfuckers. So he become best friends with the girl that's doing it. And then in the second one, you know what I'm saying, they end up continuing to fight crime or whatever, but she started training them because dude didn't have no training, but the little girl had. She been training all her life for this shit. So the dude, he finally, you know what I'm saying, asked her to train him. So she started training this nigga, you know what I'm saying, he getting better and better. So it's this one thing, this one training thing that she did with him was she made this nigga dress up as like a pimp. And he had like all these shopping bags. And it wasn't nothing in them, but he just had all these shopping bags. So he going into like this rough ass neighborhood. And they like, hey, you stupid looking motherfucker, come here, what you got in them bags? So he was like, I don't have nothing in these bags. Keep it pushing, bitches. So, you know what I'm saying? He walking and shit. So this nigga walked down the alley. Because, you know, he trying to set them up so he could practice this shit that he been learning. So, so this nigga, he get in the alley, right? So it's like 4 or 5 of these niggas. So he got an earpiece in, so she talking in his ear the whole time. So finally, you know what I'm saying, she was like, don't give him the bag. So dude was like, give me those fucking bags. So this nigga looked down at the bag. She was like, you better not hand them over. So this nigga had the dude the bag. When he had the nigga the bag, he just swing on this nigga. So now he's fighting all 5 of these niggas. So like at first, like for the first 3 seconds, it's like he tearing their ass up. He using all his moves and everything else. But he slipped. And when he slipped, dude catch him. Bow right in the jaw, right? This nigga fall back. Once this nigga fall back, they just start commencing to beating his ass. It's so funny as shit. Bro, if you talk about straight comedy, bro, I'm talking about hilarious. So like that's one of the ones that I crack up and laugh about. But yeah, Kick Ass and Kick Ass 2, man. I had to go back and watch them. That shit was funny. But man, let's get into Snowfall, man. So episode 6, part 2 of the Iliad. We left off episode 5 with Gustavo / Uso and Franklin being stuck in a cage with a tiger.
Mm-hmm.
We come into this episode where basically, you know what I'm saying, they still in the tiger cage. Everybody's still looking for him. And you know what I'm saying, we you know what I'm saying, they found Black Diamond, found Dallas, can't find Peaches. You know what I mean? But then, you know what I'm saying, Gustavo and Franklin end up escaping from the tiger cage, and then basically they found a way to or they thought they found a way to get out until, you know what I'm saying, the Vatos ran back up on them and caught up with them, and then they basically you know what I'm saying, did some torture techniques. So, you know what I'm saying, let me see what else. Oh, and then we find out that Peaches had basically set everybody up. He was the one that basically had everybody, you know what I'm saying, hit or whatever. Took all the money was gone. And then it's a new person that we have to worry about now. His name is Kane. We find out that that's Kevin's older brother, and he was locked up. So now they got a new enemy. Also they got, you know what I'm saying, this Peaches problem to worry about, and it's also a tiger running loose in LA at this time. So, do your thing, man. What did you think of this episode?
This episode was pretty amazing, man. I like the direction that they took. I also love how, you know, it told you that was part 1 and there was a part 2 coming, and they picked up right where part 1 left off. When it came to Oso came up with a great idea. When it comes to the escape plan that they put together, Oso came up with a great idea by putting the belt in between the thing. So when the guy tried to roll up the cage because the dude had him in a cage, but it was a split cage. And so he put a belt in between the thing that'll raise it up. So my man had to go up to the top to go try to raise it manually. Also kicks the cage. Dude falls through the cage. Well, not fall all the way through the cage, but his leg fell through the cage. Tiger took his leg off. Keys fell. So that's how they was able to do the whole escape thing. So that was dope. I also think that with them leaving, which we're going to get deep into that, but it'll be later in the pod.
Yeah.
But leaving it open that Peaches might not have did that shit voluntarily. We don't know yet.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But also, man, something that you didn't mention when you went down the rundown was the conversation that V had with Sissy and what she ended up, the decision that she made with Franklin. She decided to distance herself from Franklin until he figure out what he needs to do to basically get out of the game because he can't protect her 24/7. And Sissy told her, but I think also another reason why I think Sissy went ahead and told her the truth, you know what I'm saying, in the blankest way that you could tell her, is we finally found out what was the deal with V. Her mom was a con woman that took her all, not only just through the country, but through the world. I hear scam. Her mom, basically, her mama was a scam artist and used to use her on the scams. And so she was talking about how she used to do fraudulent documents in English and in French. So V ended up having a criminal background, and then you kind of knew when she said she felt like she got herself out of that life, and now she feel like that she fell right back into the beginning of it by dealing with Franklin. And I think that with this, and we talked about this before, with this baby coming, I didn't think V was playing. And now she's taking the steps where she's basically, I don't know if she's moving out. She's making it seem like she's moving out to the fact of like until Franklin, finally get out of this.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna lie to you. Sissy moved up on my list of people to get killed. She is now right up under that cop. Them two, they can get etched out of this whole series now.
Okay, elaborate on that. Why you feel that way?
That was a dirtbag move of hers. So first off, let's not forget that Sissy is in talks with, I don't know if it's dude from the Cuban Revolution or whoever the fuck these niggas are supposed to be. And we even haven't heard from them yet. So we don't even know what's all going on with that anymore. We only seen 2 episodes of that. So we don't know, you know what I'm saying, if they, you know what I'm saying, looking for, you know what I'm saying, Teddy, or maybe if they got something to do with old girl and Teddy. We don't even know. We don't know nothing about that shit. But to me, it seems as if like she's coming to sabotage this whole thing. And I thought that ever since that second meeting.
So you think that what Alton was doing was his intentions was right, but the way he went about it was wrong.
So
do you think this is the same
genuine
situation?
Intentions for sure.
Yeah. So you think that? No. You don't think so?
I think this is Sissy's way of. Sissy is looking for revenge. I'm just be honest with you. This is what I think. I think Sissy is looking for revenge, right? Because she definitely was there when Alton died. She knew who killed Alton. She already knew who killed him. Even though she tried to act like she didn't know, I think she had a idea of who killed him. Even if she didn't, you know what I'm saying? Or she thought she knew at least. And then her coming back and then dealing with, you know what I'm saying, that dude, and, you know what I'm saying, everything else. But don't forget when they was in the car, when they left the restaurant, she was talking and she said, I want to be all in on this. It's the reason she want to be all in on this. She need all the information she can get from them. That way she can set Teddy up. Now, I don't think she wants to set Teddy up as far as you know what I'm saying, getting Franklin or anybody else hurt, but I definitely think that she wants to get her revenge on him because he killed Alton. Second, or am I on two? I don't know. Anyway, But besides that part, um, I think that she did that for a reason. I think that she told V that for a reason. Because listen to the way she had that conversation. She said, you know what I'm saying, you almost lost your baby. She didn't say the baby. She didn't say my grandchild. So she didn't say none of that. She was just saying you almost lost your baby. So in a sense, it was really trying to get her to isolate, find that isolation and get away from Franklin. You know what I'm saying? So that way, I think that if V gets away from Franklin, Franklin is going to then go back to depending on his mom. And now, you know what I'm saying, she can really get out of him what she needs out of him to get to Teddy. So I don't know, man. It's just something about Sissy isn't right this season. And I understand, she's doing it for the revenge, but for the ultimate, for the ultimate thing, she's really fucking everything up. And I think that just like Alton did, trying to protect Franklin when he's a grown man and getting in the way of what he's trying to do, she gonna fuck around and fuck some shit up. And it's not gonna be for the best. So yeah, I'm ready for her to get up out of there because she's throwing a wrench in the program. They don't need her in there right now trying to do everything that she's trying to do. I think she's in the way.
See, I didn't think of it that way. Now you bring
Mm-hmm.
up great, valid points. I looked at it like, okay, Alton tried to get him out this way. That really turned Franklin off. So then she's kind of like, okay, she gave him the tools to be able to make money that is legitimate money, but he was acting like, oh, once I get so much, I'm out, but he's still in. So I thought it was more of like, okay, well, there's really only one other way to get this to happen is to put in her head, yo, you need to distance yourself from him, and he's gonna feel. I think she knows that Franklin is excited about this baby, so I think she's looking at it like, if I can convince V to step away from Franklin, Franklin's going to do whatever he needs to do so he can be involved in that baby's life. So I felt like she had to get V. She had to convince her to be like, look, you need to focus on yourself but she's thinking in her own alternative motives, like if V do what I think she should do, then that's going to be that push that's going to get Franklin to really go legit and get out of this because she is taking his child away from him. And I don't think Franklin want to be absent in this child's life. So that's the way I looked at it. But I can see it both ways because she does want revenge on Teddy and she wants to know all the information that she can to get back at Teddy. And I think that something that could happen later in the season is that when she finally have a face-to-face with Teddy, I think we might see a little scene from Cuba. Maybe
for sure.
She's seeing him walk out of their door. You know what I'm saying? Like some type of shit like that to where she know it was him because she saw him with her own eyes type of thing. I think we might end up seeing something like that, episode 8, 9, some shit like that, possibly even 10. But yeah, that's another thing. While we speaking of Teddy, so I wasn't completely right. I wasn't right, but I wasn't wrong. You know what I'm saying? She didn't rape him or nothing. But now we starting to see so we only get a couple of sightings of Teddy. We really only get 2 sightings of him. Old girl cleaned him up and she told a story of how when she saw him before, because she ended up kissing him and she was like, yo, like I've been wanting to do that for years, basically. And she was just like, and then what's the crazy part is she was like, this is the most excitement I had in years. And it's like, all you had was a bloody dude, a dude that was shot in there, and you just like, that was a weird statement for her to say, like, yo, how boring have your life been if that's the fun that you had in years and ain't even really nothing been going on. But she was just like, yo, I want 500,000. He was like, I told you 250, and she was like, yo, I saw the keys that you had in the trunk. And so she was like, so that number is gonna stay at 5, but also he was like, but he could tell like what else do you want because obviously you want something else. She made it sound like she want a relationship. I don't think she just wants to smash. Like I think she wants to be in a full-fledged relationship with Teddy.
Definitely upset. She's definitely upset.
Yeah. And I don't even think, and I mean, we don't even know, because she was saying that, at the time you were married and you had a child. So, what I'm saying? I just kind of stayed back. So I don't think Teddy has smashed before, but it seems now, I don't know, you look like you thinking like, nah, he might have cheated on his wife.
Definitely smashed. He definitely smashed. I think you right in the relationship part. I think that, he smashed, but he couldn't get into a relationship with her because, he had a wife and a kid. But he definitely took that down.
He might have. He might have.
Ain't no way my man is out. Ain't no way my man out here with a stalker like that and he ain't laid no pipe, bro. I'm just saying. That don't even sound right.
Hey, let's remember I had one.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, she definitely wants Teddy, and that's going to be interesting to see how he handles that situation, because I don't think this is the thing with Teddy, right? And this is what people also have to remember. He lost his brother, who was really probably, the way they made it seem, was one of the closest people in his life. He lost his brother. Brother died. His father told him, I don't fuck with you no more, so don't even call me.
And he lost his daddy.
Twice. Yep, so he lost his daddy, and he didn't get to go to his brother's funeral. Obviously, he lost his wife, and he don't see his kids, or it don't even seem like he's communicating with his kids.
And it looked like she got remarried, or she in a new relationship too.
And on top of that, him and Franklin's relationship ain't what it was. So Teddy's really out here solo. So it's like, I was gonna say, I don't think he really wants to be tied down with anybody, but then at the same time, that whole thing of being lonely like that, the way that he is, because Teddy's a really lonely guy. Like even also, like, they're not, everybody's different now. Like Teddy's been gone for a while, and then the conversation that Franklin and also had in the back of the car, where he was like, I didn't know if I could trust you. I can't believe you came back for me. And also was telling
Franklin on me.
And then Franklin was like, well, I was getting to that one, but also was like, I didn't think that you would come back for me. And so he came back for him. He was like, I didn't trust you either, because he thought that he was in on that whole thing where Teddy was spying. So even also, even the light went off in his head, like, oh shit, like this is weird. Like, this is out of character for Teddy to be sitting there spying. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of friction that has came, but I felt like this whole thing that went down, this near death experience with Franklin and Oso, I think that kind of brought them tighter together. And I think that kind of distance, and with Oso knowing what Franklin knows now, I think he's going to keep an eye on Teddy now, to the point where maybe he didn't at first, but I think that he's going to, it seems like Teddy might be wearing out his welcome. Like, how do you feel about that? Like, do you think that they're kind of like, you know what, things was kind of going all right while you were gone, and then you coming back and you this, and you spying, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. I think I agree with that. I don't know if things are going well since he was gone, but they seem to be more so in favor of Franklin and everybody else than it was with I forgot what dude's name was already, but the other dude before Teddy came back. He seemed to be too much into the life and maybe forgetting that he was a CIA agent. But I mean, with Teddy coming back, I think it's just he got an ulterior motive that we don't know. I think so, at least he has an ulterior motive we know nothing about yet, and I think that he's trying to get ahead of. Okay, just hit me. Now that I said that, it just hit me. Maybe, right?
Okay.
Maybe him and Sissy ended up getting into it in Cuba because maybe
So
she already knew that he killed Otto, and maybe they had a little run in with each other, and that's why she was able to get in contact with all the revolutionaries and whatever from Cuba because it's a reason that they know about Teddy.
yeah,
So I don't know exactly what's going on, but it's a reason they know about Teddy though.
yeah. I can see what you're saying. I can see what you're saying. But also when two people go through a traumatic thing like that, and then with also sitting in that chair thinking that Franklin isn't coming back, I think that I think that does something. And when you show that type of loyalty in a situation like that, where both
Mm-hmm.
of you are being tortured about some money and neither one of you are giving up, I think that that's going to do something with them to where maybe because even in the beginning, like because you remember Teddy didn't tell Oso that he was FBI, and then
Right.
when he did, like he didn't seem like thrilled about it. He was just kind of like, I'm gonna roll with you really because I ain't got no choice, really.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that with what that situation going down the way it went down, because remember he was like basically, Teddy left. Like I rolled up
Mm-hmm.
with him and he fucking left me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I don't think when Teddy finally, when she finally got the phone for him, they didn't show who he called or if he pays anybody or whatever. But I don't
Mm-hmm.
think they're gonna be too welcoming to Teddy when he get in touch with them
I
because
think it's I think they are. I think it's gonna be more so that what I'm saying, they're gonna be a little skeptical about him from here on out. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be very impartial to him from here on out because now it's like, what I'm saying, with Gustavo finding out that he was spying during that, what I'm saying, that meetup. Now, what I'm saying, because remember he told him, he said, you know, I didn't trust anybody. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
So especially in this. And I think it was a thing because it's like you had Gustavo who didn't trust anybody. And then you had Teddy who he didn't trust anybody, but he had a few people he trusted. So he was kind of like right in the fence. And then you got Franklin who like seemed like he trusted everybody around him. So now you starting to see that shift. So now I feel like it's gonna be where, you know, Teddy is gonna have to trust them. And then, you're gonna have Franklin who is gonna start being the person that don't trust nobody, especially
hmm
with everything going on around him. And then Gustavo is kind of gonna be on that inside to where he's gonna be trusting Franklin and them a lot more, and he's not gonna be really trusting Teddy. I think you're gonna see that character shift in a minute.
Speaking of shifting characters, man, how did you feel about that little comment that Louis had when Louis and Jerome was sitting in the car waiting on the two dudes to pull up, and he was
Mm-hmm.
just like, man, he said, man, I brought this dude in. He's like, man, he wasn't but a dirty vet without me, and he gonna turn and do this. And she was like, well, you might have brought him in, but he was Franklin's guy, and if anybody should have seen this coming, it should have been him. And it's just like, why do you want to get the? First of all, this affects all of y'all. You know what I'm saying? So just because you just want to point out a mistake that he might have had, you know what I'm saying, for Peaches to turn. But I don't want to get into that one situation yet. But like, how did you feel about like her trying to throw another jab at Franklin in a situation like this and at this time for her to pull this right now?
Well, I think she's been doing this for a minute, right? Like she's the reason that they kind of broke away from Franklin. She's the reason that um, Sissy had that conversation and then found out Teddy was back. She's the reason for a lot of this stuff. And her and Franklin been butting heads for a while now. It's just at the point to where now she's finding, and you know, that's, to me, I look at it like she's just an angry woman right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what angry women do. Angry women will do anything to get on your ass. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And now she's an angry black woman at that. And you know how they are. They gonna make sure your ass gonna pay for what you done did. You know what I'm saying? No matter what. If she got to burn the whole house down with her in it, you gonna pay for what you did. So I think that's just where she's at right now. At this point, she's just, you know what I'm saying, being, you know what I'm saying, the vindictive person of, you know, oh yeah, it's cool. You know, yeah, you know him, but you didn't hire him. Franklin hired him. You know what I'm saying? If we really got somebody to be mad at, we mad at Franklin. Plus, you know what I'm saying, Jerome wasn't mad at Franklin. It was her being mad at Franklin. So now this gives her a way to get Jerome, you know what I'm saying, a little bit closer to her side about the whole situation.
Yeah, because he was mad at Peaches.
Exactly. So I think this is an interesting dynamic. I actually like this dynamic, especially in the time that is, in the time that it's in right now, because, you know what I'm saying, like I said, with him and Louis playing chess with each other, right? They got a separate chess game that they playing right now. And they kind of going back and forth. Because, like, you seen his face when they was at the dinner and she brought that up. And he was looking at her like, bitch, what are you doing? Why would you even say some shit like that? So now it's like, okay, he's trying his best to show her love, because at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, like, that's like his aunt, you know what I mean? He grew up around her. You know what I'm saying? That's his uncle's girl, like, you know what I'm saying? And he got respect for his uncle, of course. So it's like you kinda wanna show love to her, but at the same time it's like, yo, you can get off real quick. There's nothing for me to, you know what I'm saying? It's nothing for me to do away with you. You know what I mean? Like, I can, you know, I can do away with you real quick. But I don't know, man. We've seen what she can do. We know that when she killed off old girl, her ex lover.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we know that she doesn't come from a soft background. You know, we know that she's you know what I'm saying, streetwise for sure. So we'll see how it pays out, man. I mean, but I like that though. I think that, you know what I'm saying, she just letting her emotions get the best of her. But I still like that her and Franklin are kind of butting heads.
Cool. Before
What you
we get
think?
into I mean, look, I agree with you. But I just didn't like the little stab. I just feel like there's a time and a place for it. And
Yeah.
with everything that is going on right now, after what you just saw last night, where $5 million was stolen, you know what I'm saying? It's just like for you to sit there and try to take. It's like, yo, Franklin said, there's only two people who know about this spot. That's me and Peaches. And for you to sit there and say what you said at this time, you just realize, like, yo, he just got robbed. That $5 million being taken away is going to affect us somehow, some way. It's going to affect us. So at the time, yes, Peaches is the person that you need to be, you know, pointing your anger at. But for you to sit there and try to be like, but maybe it could also be, you know, her trying to get Jerome not to feel bad for bringing him in and say that it's Franklin's fault because he should have seen it coming. So it could have been that too. So she could have been protecting him. But before we get into the shits, man, how did you feel about the conversation that Javi was having with Franklin? Because I thought that was an interesting conversation to be like, yo, I'm a soldier. I've always been a soldier, different battlefield. That's why I never had no kids. I lose my man last night, yesterday, and now I hear that you're bringing a baby into this world. I thought that was an interesting conversation that Ivy and Franklin had.
So this isn't the first time, you know what I'm saying, Javi has even had this conversation, right? We've seen him have the same conversation with Leon. You know what I mean? Basically playing the wise man and advising them to make better decisions. You know what I'm saying? Trying to give them a different outlook on the moves that they're making and the things that they're doing, because the truth of the matter is, he's seen some things that, they probably can't even fathom. And so for him to kind of give them some type of guidance and tell them, like, look, you know what I'm saying? Y'all got to really pay attention to what's going on around here, blah, 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 blah. I think, what I'm saying, that's super commendable. The conversation that he had with Franklin, to me, was, what I'm saying, very important, because, what I'm saying, the words that he told Franklin, he said, what I'm saying, the fire that you got inside of you, bro, you can do it all. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing that you can't do. He was like, what I'm saying, I'm a man that go from war to war. You a man with the war within. You know what I'm saying? You fighting the battle of who you want to be. And I think that was super important with, what I'm saying, him trying to find a way out, but still trying to make sure everybody's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that's, ever since we've seen him take this, like, leadership position, that's really his whole thing. He's trying to make sure everybody is good. You know what I'm saying? Same thing between when Alton and Teddy was going at it, and how he had to kind of mediate between that. So I mean, he definitely hit the nail on the head. He was right on the money with it. It's just interesting to see how he's going to carry on from there.
And then for him to tell him that, yo, like, you could do anything you put your mind to. He was like, I knew that from the first time that I saw you. And he was like, and I think he said that's dangerous. And he was like, how so? And he was just saying, like, yo, you could do anything that you want. And what that means is, if you want, basically, he did, I'm not saying word for word, but like, yo, you can fly planes, you could be a pilot, you can, you selling real estate. He was like, he did say you could be a businessman, and then he said, oh, you could be a drug dealer. And like, basically what he was telling Franklin is like, yo, whatever you set your mind to, you can be. So you're basically really only being a drug dealer right now because you want to be one. But at the same time, the exit strategy, I think that this is what a lot of people are not remembering. He's selling drugs for the CIA, and they're not done with him yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that what Franklin is trying to explain to everybody is, and I think that they don't get it, is that he can't stop until the CIA want to stop.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he can't go to Teddy and be like, yo, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? Because Teddy can be like, yo, I got you out of jail. I can put you right back in that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Because we're not done. And I understand that people want him out the game. And maybe Franklin wants to be out the game, but he knows that he can't leave yet. I think that's a factor that a lot of people are forgetting about.
This is the most important thing, though. You was right there on the edge. It's not about, what I'm saying, him going to jail or anything like that. He knows, like, yo, they could kill me.
Yeah.
This is the CIA we talking about. They could kill me and nobody investigated or nothing.
Because he knows too much.
Yeah, it gets swept right up under the rug. So I think that him dealing with that, and I'm glad you said that, because that's something that he said multiple times in these last few seasons. Yo, the CIA is, as long as I'm making them money, nothing's gonna happen to me.
Yep.
And he makes a super valid point, because technically they need that money. You know what I'm saying? It's a reason that they're doing this. They need that money. So I think that in the end, you know what I'm saying, like, he knows that it's gonna go one or two ways. Either he's gonna get off, or they're gonna pay him a nice little chunk of change and tell him, get the hell out of here and don't let us ever see you again. You know what I'm saying? So I think he kind of knows what his options are. I think everybody else not being able to see as far as he can, because he's technically, like, in it. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of, it's the process of convincing them that he has this in the bag. They just need to follow his lead. And if they do that, then I think everybody's going to be okay. I think it's the issue of because everybody else can't see his vision and can't see his plan, and they have so much, you know what I'm saying, so much uncertainty that all of these things begin to happen because he can't really control them.
Yep. Great point, man. But listen, we got to do this, man.
Mm-hmm.
And the very first thing I'm going to say, I don't know who this guy is, but I'm telling you, they picked the perfect person to be Kane. Yo, this dude sounds like a villain.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yo, like this is great. Like I love his voice. I love his whole demeanor.
But he always plays that type of character though.
Yeah, like it was. But this is what I love though, man. I love this. I was telling my old lady about this. I was like, yo, I said, don't you love when you watching the show and they bring in a new character that is tied to a character from like 3 seasons ago?
Mm-hmm.
And it like it brings a whole story together because yo, I forgot Franklin had shot Kevin. But not only did I forget that he shot Kevin, Leon saw him shoot Kevin, and then Leon was really more tight with Kevin at that time than he was with Franklin. Like they all was friends, but in the early first and second season, Leon and Kevin was you know what I'm saying? They was really like rolling together. Cause Franklin wasn't really in this shit yet. Like they was kind of with the street life, and Franklin was kind of going to school and shit. Cause remember, Franklin was supposed to be going to college. People forget that. Franklin was on his way to college, and Leon and Kevin was in the street life, and then Franklin ended up getting involved with the right people, and that's how he got involved with Teddy and Freddie. Not Teddy, but Teddy and all this type of shit. But for them to bring the older brother of Kevin to bring that whole thing up, and I don't know, I'm pretty sure you noticed this, but so when they stepped up to him and they was just like, you know, when did you get out? It was like a couple of months ago, and so you know, like basically said, you know, I'm trying to, you know, fix a broken family and shit, and then he was like, and I thought that this was very important because Leon said shooting at old friends. He was like, friends? He was like, y'all my little brothers. And it's like, and then they got to talking about how, you know, he remembered Franklin being pulled out of a pool hall by his ear by his moms and all this type shit. So it's telling you how tight they even was with Kane. And then it wasn't just Kevin. And for him, and oh my God, for him to sit there and bring up Mrs. Saint's name and be like, yo, I apologize. He's like, even though it wasn't, you know, technically me, he's like, I ain't pulling no triggers. But he was like, I apologize for Mrs. Saint for being shot at. For someone to say that, you know, and then Franklin to completely sweep over the fact that he was like, because he said, yo, I was in prison. He was like, yeah, you was in prison. Who did you shoot on to get out? You know what I'm saying? And Franklin just completely, he went over that shit. But like what was your reaction, man? Like, as you can see, I'm amped up about this shit. Like, what was your reaction like when you found out who Kane was and that whole conversation of how he was even introduced into the show? Like what was your thoughts, man?
Okay, first and foremost, I was super hyped because the character, the dude that plays Kane, right? His name is Devon Nixon. He plays Norm Nixon in the Winning Time show.
That is him.
Yeah. So when I seen him, I was looking. I'm like, God damn, that nigga. Oh shit, that dude. I'm like, okay, cool. So you know what I'm saying? Knowing the way he played Norm Nixon, you know what I'm saying? He got that like, you know what I'm saying? He had that dark, you know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, I will do anything in my power to get rid of you in Winning Time. So knowing he had that, you know what I'm saying, in his wheelhouse, to see him do it in Snowfall, right, where he could fully let it out and be that, I thought that was awesome. But so you know what I'm saying, him getting out, you know what I'm saying, him hearing about Franklin killing his little brother, you know, and I can only imagine. Well, I don't even. I never want to imagine how that feels, but you know, to hear that Franklin, somebody who you grew up with, you know what I'm saying, y'all know since kids, to hear that he was the one who killed your little brother, and they was like best friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then to come out and find out that this nigga is like a kingpin in LA, that has to blow his fucking mind. So of course he's gonna do what he got to do, and you know what I'm saying, he know, hey, let's get rid of this nigga. This is, you know what I'm saying, nigga wanna kill my brother, and on top of that, I know I can get this nigga money and everything else. Let's make something happen. But we find out that Peaches really didn't, you know what I'm saying, want to do what he did to Franklin. He was kind of, you know what I'm saying, forced to. So, figuring out everything out from, you know what I'm saying, Kane's mouth and finding out that that's what it was, it's man. I mean, I really don't know what to think from that conversation, because this is what I learned from The Walking Dead, right? Don't get too caught up in that first introduction to a character.
Mm-hmm.
Because what'll end up happening is we'll end up getting another Scully storyline, right? Where Scully was like this big bad motherfucker in the neighborhood that nobody wanna fuck with. But somehow, some way, they just found out a way to just break this nigga down. And now he working for Franklin, basically. If you break it all down, he's basically working for Franklin. He's buying the drugs from Franklin's people who work for Franklin. So basically, he's working for Franklin at the end of the day. They done killed this nigga's daughter. They done killed this nigga's girl. They done killed this nigga brother-in-law. Like, they, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to get too hyped up in who this nigga really is. Now, finding out that he's Kevin's brother, yo, I was like, oh shit. Because I ain't gonna lie to you, I totally forgot about Kevin. I forgot that nigga was even a part of the show. I forgot it was three of them niggas. But when soon as he said the dude's name, I was like, oh shit, that's right. Like, it is a third motherfucker in this whole thing. So, yeah, this is gonna be different. You know what I'm saying? And the funny part is it's interesting to see how him getting out and catching Franklin now, where Franklin kind of, you know what I'm saying, he done caught a couple bodies. He done had to do some dirt. You know what I'm saying? He done been in a couple shootouts. He kind of knows how to handle himself now in the street. You know, he ain't talking to Lil Franklin no more.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Or I'm sorry, he's not talking to, you know what I'm saying, Lil Saint no more. He's talking to Franklin now. So this is gonna be an interesting rest of the season from here on out.
But you know what I'm saying, he called him Frankie, but like it's just
That's what I'm
different.
saying. Yeah,
It's different. Like I feel like you said, you are 100% correct. Like this might not end the way that we thought, and I thought that it was interesting the way that they interacted with each other, because Franklin was like, cause Kane was like, yo, I taught y'all, you know what I'm saying, y'all little G's how to be men. And he was like, dude, he's like, I am. You see, we sitting here trying to have a civilized conversation. He was like, yo, I could have just got at you. And he was like, yeah, and you see, I ain't hiding either. But like, I thought that was, but he also told him that, you know, I'm coming again and I'm coming correct.
I don't know about that one. I don't know about
Which
that
part?
One. He was definitely hiding.
Well, I mean, hiding in plain sight. I think he knows that
Nigga, he
Franklin.
was at a kid's football game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He knew Franklin wouldn't do nothing at a kid's football game.
That's what I'm saying. I hate that's why I said I try not to get too caught up in these characters, because I hate when they get these tough niggas and then these tough niggas do shit like that. Like, yeah, nigga, you know what I'm saying? You ain't nothing you could do to me. Nigga, you at a basketball game you had an AAU basketball game. I'm not gonna come shoot up the AAU basketball
Yeah.
game. Like, what are you talking about now? If your ass was outside just doing whatever, whenever mowing your grass, I could run up on you when you mowing your grass. Ain't nobody out there but you. But I'm not about to fuck these little kids up just to get to you. You know what I'm saying? To me, that I hate when they say that. But go ahead, my fault. That just irks me.
No, yeah, I'm the same way because it's just like, yo, and you can tell they know each other, and everybody in the hood know that Franklin is a thinking man.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't know exactly how long not Kevin, but so this is 1986. I don't remember when it started, so I don't know how much time has really went. What do you think? 4 or 5 years, you would say?
Maybe I would say maybe 3 or 4.
Maybe 3 or 4. So
Yeah.
somewhere around there, let's call it 4. Somewhere around 4 years. So he's been locked up maybe for 5 or 6, maybe
Mm-hmm.
because he was locked up while when Kevin got shot. So
Mm-hmm.
he's been. I think that with the time that they spent together, he knew that Franklin was a thinking man because I thought it was interesting, like how the way that they was talking to each other, like both of them was sitting there doing chess pieces. You know what I'm saying? Moving the
Mm-hmm.
bishop, moving this, moving that, and I just felt that you're completely right with what you're saying. It's like, yeah, oh, I ain't hiding either, nigga. But it's like, yeah, man,
Yeah, like come on, bro.
you had this kids game. Like Franklin is
Yeah,
not the type to sit there and light up a park where kids are playing football. Like, come on.
exactly.
Like, so he did say he's gonna come again. The next time he's gonna come correct, but it's interesting the game that they're playing though because it's like, okay, I sent a message, right?
Mm-hmm.
But while I'm sending that message, I'm gonna apologize to you for shooting at your mama. Like it's just like now, I can see what you're saying because if Scully could have got over what he got over, Man Boy got over what he got over. Remember, he killed a couple of Man Boy's people, and then Man Boy
That's what
ended
I'm
up working
saying.
for him.
That's what I'm
So
saying.
this could be another situation where I think some people are gonna die. I don't know who those characters gonna be, but what we also got to pay attention to is, like I mentioned earlier, Leon, like him and Franklin really almost stopped fucking with each other because of Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
Leon has endured a lot of shit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I'm just saying, like, he has been loyal to him the whole time. He has
Mm-hmm.
no reason to be disloyal, but it's just the fact that is there going to become a point where because they made a point. They made a point to show Leon's face, his facial expression when he was like, "Yo, I didn't even go to Kevin's funeral or whatnot." Well,
Mm-hmm.
no, well, when he said that when you shot Kevin, like he said when you
Mm-hmm.
shot Kevin, the camera went to Leon, and Leon kind
Yeah.
of made like a little look. So I don't know, man. I think it's gonna be really interesting how this stuff plays out because
Yeah.
I don't remember that vividly. I do remember that I think Kevin found out that he was working with the C. He wanted to take out somebody. I think it was Oso's girl, the girl that left.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was her.
Yep.
I think he wanted to take her out because she
Because
had
the
did something
Mexicans.
to him. So what?
Remember, he had that beef with the Mexicans too,
Yeah,
and them was her
and
people.
yeah, he was just like, "Yo, like I'm working with them, like I need them," and
Mm-hmm.
he ended up taking him out, and Leon wasn't happy with that, man. So this is listen. Shout out to Walter Mosley, all the
Yeah.
other writers that was involved. Man, to throw this monkey wrench in here right now, and then we're not even talking about the fact that Teddy was like, "Yo, you need to get your house in order when he was talking to Franklin.
Mm-hmm.
Now he done got shot because of an old beef that Franklin had with Kevin, and now his big brother, is out of jail, and this is the person that's fucking up our whole operation right now.
Mm-hmm.
But when him and Teddy finally have a conversation, it's gonna be much TV, man.
Yeah, but then this is one of the ones you can't really pin on Franklin, because this is some shit that nobody could have foresaw, right? Nobody was gonna know. First off, we didn't even know this nigga Kevin had a fucking brother, and if it was mentioned, it wasn't mentioned for real. So you know what I'm saying? Like, nobody would know that this nigga's brother was gonna get out, find Peaches, kidnap this nigga, and do whatever he did to him, and then get the money, then find out where all the drops was, and then, you know what I'm saying? Nobody was gonna be able to foresee that. So that's really not nobody's fault in this situation. It's more so the thing of, you know what I'm saying, how the fuck are we gonna deal with this motherfucker? How are we gonna get him the fuck up out of here so we don't have to worry about shit like this?
Man, this is gonna be great to see, man. This show, it just gets better and better and better and better, man.
100%.
It's like, oh my god. If y'all ain't on Snowfall by this point, I'm pretty sure everybody that listens to this shit has to watch the show. But like,
for
oh
sure.
my god, man, this shit is getting better and better, man. Better and better. So
yeah, man.
I ain't mad at it at all.
Yeah, man. So, listen, FX got one, man. But actually, they got two. I meant to shout them out earlier on the What We Watching, but man, listen, Atlanta, the new season of Atlanta dropped. 2-part episode, man. They did. Listen, Childish Gambino, bro, this nigga is. I don't know who to compare him to. I don't know how to explain him, but you know what I'm saying? He is definitely a modern day genius. He's definitely one of our artistic geniuses. And yeah, we got to get into that one day. We gonna have a conversation about how good this dude is. But Atlanta came out, man, 2-episode premiere. It was great. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but if you guys didn't see it, go check it out. Shout out to Childish Gambino and FX. And
Nah,
yeah,
I'm watching it. I'm watching it tonight, man. I didn't watch them last night, so I'm definitely getting on. I didn't know they dropped two, so I'm very excited about that. So man, I'm gonna get those 2 episodes of Atlanta in tonight. Been waiting on this show for a long time, man. So it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be definitely fun. Cause the one thing about it though, before we get out of here, the one thing about it is, so have you already seen them, the 2 episodes?
yeah, I watched them as soon as they came out.
Cause to be out as long as it's been out, I mean, we waited 2.5 years for them, you know what I'm saying, to come back. Was it worth the wait? Just yes or no? Was it worth the wait?
Fuck yes. That first
Okay.
episode, bro. Listen,
Okay.
that first episode. I'm not gonna tell you about it. I'm just saying that first episode, right? Because to me, this is the genius of Childish Gambino and that crew. They'll throw things in the episode and do things in the episode, and a lot of the show really is social commentary. That's you know what I'm saying, because that's who Childish Gambino is. He's just that type of person. So a lot of the show be just, you know what I'm saying, social commentary. Like, I remember one episode, he was talking about how he was always getting stunted on. So Paperboy, and this is like in the older season, but he was always getting stunted on. So Paperboy was like, "Yeah, nigga, that's Atlanta. Either you getting stunted on or you stunting on somebody." And he was like, "Come on, man, it can't really be like that, is it?" So then Darius was like, "Yeah, pretty much." He was like, "That's all Atlanta's ever been." So like, it's this one episode where like he finally get a chance to, you know what I'm saying, like he finally done got some money, because, you know, through that whole season he was broke. So he finally got some money. He take Van out, you know what I'm saying, they go kick it or whatever. But still, even though he got some money, he goes to the other side of town, the white side of town, and this nigga is still getting stunted on. So then he like, you know what? fuck this. I'm gonna go somewhere where I know my money gonna be, you know what I'm saying, respected. Where I go stun on somebody and be cool for a change. This nigga goes to the strip club and still getting stunned on. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just it's something about the way that they, you know what I'm saying, construct these episodes, bro. But this episode of this new season, the first one, oh my goodness. I'm talking about it reflects on social media, it reflects on society, it reflects on shit. It went back and told the story about the young boy who was giving out free hugs, who was adopted by the fucking the white lesbian couple who they end up kill. I mean, like, bruh, it's just like this dude's mind, the way this nigga brain works. I understand why he was able to do "Awaken My Love" the way he did it, and still was able to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, because this people forget this nigga used to be a comedian. This nigga used to be a fucking actor, like a actor on a whole different show. You know, he was on like a one of them, not a sitcom show, but he was on one of them, you know what I'm saying, like comedy shows. I think he was on like Parks and Rec or some shit like that, or one of them. So he was on a regular NBC TV show. This nigga used to be a stand-up comedian. This nigga used to be a fucking rapper. Like, dude has done some shit in his career. And he don't get his fucking flowers, bro. So now, like, the fact that he's out here now doing the thing with Atlanta, he finally, you know what I'm saying, got one that caught on. And, I mean, yeah, man, look, all I'm saying is this. Some years from now, I think that he's going to be one of those ones where people are going to look back and be like, yo, we never gave this nigga the flowers he deserved.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that.
For sure. So, yeah, man, listen. Let's get into this coming soon, bro.
Coming soon. Coming soon.
All right. So up next, man, coming soon, we have a top 10. Excuse me, we doing our top 10 TV series of all time. It's gonna be interesting because I think the only stipulation that you put in it was it can't be sitcoms.
Yeah, because I think sitcoms really changed the list up, man. And if people don't know the difference between sitcoms, that's basically the shit with the laughing audience. Like we're not gonna put Martin in here or Jamie Foxx show, Cosby show, shit like that. Like this is gonna be like TV series. So
yeah,
it's gonna be interesting, man. Because I know that our lists are gonna be so wild. But that's the thing about it. Like that's the great thing about this podcast is like even though we can come on here and have similar interests, we have similar interests but different tastes. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be interesting to see the shows that you put on there and the shows that I put on there, man. And it's just like I have a list down, and it's like, yo, how am I gonna put this shit down to 10? But it's like, oh my god. So yeah, this is gonna be a fun ass episode, man. And I think that people gonna learn a lot too, like with it, like with seeing like what we rate and how we rate the shit that we do. I think that's gonna tell a lot about both of us on our list.
for sure. So I'm excited to do this one because listen, the sitcoms thing kind of made me go a little deeper into the vault. So, you know, I gotta get into it now. I gotta, you know what I'm saying? I had a nice list, but when you had said that, I was like, damn. So, you know what I mean? I got some things some extra shows to throw in there, but my only thing was having to go through all the fucking different DSP channel, you know what I'm saying, older channels, and bro, it's a lot of shit. It's a lot of different TV shows. So, yeah,
it is,
sure.
and it's gonna be it's gonna be a lot of shit left off, obviously, like
yeah, for sure,
but like
big time,
but I just think that like what's gonna be difficult to do is like for me, I mean, you know, you ain't got to reveal anything, but I reveal this. Like, I won't put Snowfall in there for the simple fact it's not finished.
Right.
Even though it's definitely worthy, like, you know what I'm saying, to be in my top 5, but it's like it's not finished. We haven't seen the end result of it, so I won't put a Snowfall in there for the simple fact of the first of all, the show is still running, and I mean, I haven't seen any news of it being renewed, but I've heard something through the grapevine that this was supposedly supposed to be the last season. I haven't heard that, but we'll see when that time comes.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll see you guys next episode. Can't wait to do it. You know what I'm saying? Until then, you know what I'm saying, check out the rest of the catalog that we have and make sure you all caught up. But you can always catch us on the socials as well if you guys want to talk about anything or want to or hear anything specifically. Hit us up on Instagram and Twitter at Viewer9Pod and Facebook at VA Pod Watch Group. Hit me up on Twitter at Scoots Bronson and follow me on TikTok at Scoots Bronson TV.
Yes, sir. Me at S.Foster8 on Instagram and Twitter. The at 28 minutes or less pod on IG. The podcast on all major platforms. 28 minutes or less. The last podcast out is still the most slept on. Oh my God, Alchemist, man. So go check that out on all major platforms.
All right, cool, man. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for listening. Greatly appreciate it. Greatly appreciate it. We'll see you guys next episode. And like they say in Hollywood, man, that's a wrap.
Cut.